Next day, why did you come to Saturday? Samantha grumbled as she stared at the cloud boredly. Her mom left for checkup, and she is so damn bored. She doesn't even know how to operate the phone Bryan bought for her. She brought out her phone and dialed Bryan's number. Hey, babe. Did you miss me so much that you decided to call me, huh? Don't be too proud. I was just bored and wanted to hear your voice. Switch to video call. I don't know how. Innocently. I will do that. Just hold on. Samantha stared at her screen as the call ended. Then Bryan called again. Of course, Samantha didn't waste time before answering the call, and it displayed Bryan's face to his waist level. Blushes. Bryan, go put on some clothes. Why should I? Winks. Or you can't control yourself while looking at my hard chest. There is nothing attractive there, so I don't know why you're so cocky. Teases. But I can see someone eye-raping me. Bryan, wait. Oi, where are you? I'm behind you. Samantha turned and jumped up when she heard a boo! Bryan, did you want my life to be cut short? Samantha gasped, trying to calm her racing heartbeat. Nope. You said you were bored, so I came to make your worst day more enjoyable. Bryan smirked as he climbed on top of Samantha, who was on the bed laying on her back. Bryan! Samantha's eyes widened. Her breath got cut on her throat. No, he wouldn't do anything to you, so stop thinking dirty. Samantha thought, as Bryan brought his lips closer to her ears. Didn't you say you were bored? Bryan whispered in her ears. No, Bryan. My mom placed cameras around the rooms. She might be watching, Samantha said, looking around. Then let she watch. Bryan smirked and placed his lips on hers in a passionate kiss. He deeped his tongue into her mouth, and their tongues got engaged in a fight. Diht. Bryan Samantha gasped. Bryan hummed, still not breaking the kiss. But seeing that she is running out of breath, he broke the kiss. Am not lying. Look, Samantha pointed at the right side of the wall. Up. There was a camera there. What the fuck? Bryan gasped with his mouth wide open as he stared at the camera. Then Samantha pushed him off her. You never told me you were under house arrest, Bryan muttered as he walked up to the camera and tapped the wire. I told you, but you refused to listen. Samantha rolled her eyes. Get me a knife or scissors, Bryan muttered, and Samantha frowned. Don't disconnect it because my mom wouldn't be happy. Tell Aunt that I'm the one that disconnected it, okay? Bryan said, and Samantha walked out of the room and soon came back with a knife. Great! Bryan held the wire and cut it into two, but he left the red one, wire. Without the blue one, the red one is useless. Why would your mom put a camera in your room? Bryan asked, and Samantha sighed. That's the way she is, Samantha muttered, and Bryan tucked a strands of hair behind her ears. Shall we continue from where we stopped? Bryan smirked, and Samantha smiled when an idea to chase away boredom clocked into her head. Let's go to the park, Samantha said, and Bryan frowned. I hate parks, Bryan scoffed as he folded his arms. Let's just take a walk, Samantha said, and Bryan nodded. Is fair, though. You're no fun, Samantha grumbled, while Bryan smirked. Really? Am no fun, Bryan said, pointing at his chest. Ask any girl that knows me. They will tell you that am very fun to be with, Bryan said, and Samantha glared at him angrily. Let's go, Bryan said, but Samantha ignored him. Come on, let's go. Bryan pulled her in a piggyback and began to walk out of the house while Samantha struggled. Fuck you, Bryan, Samantha cursed. Why do what Americans do is curse? Bryan frowned. And why do Koreans always yell and scream anytime they see a hot guy, huh? Samantha asked, and Bryan smirked. Because they couldn't control themselves, Bryan muttered. Is that not Brian Quinn? The son of the famous billionaire? Yes, is him, and he is carrying a girl. They look so lovely together. I feel like going there and pressing or tying their head together. Am going to have a nosebleed, Samantha scoffed as she rolled her eyes. I repeat, why do they scream or yell? And I repeat because they couldn't control themselves from admiring. Bryan cut her off. Whatever, Samantha muttered as she hit her head at his back as some took pictures. At Jeremy's mansion. Mom, what was so urgent that you called me when I was... Jeremy paused. Bugging a hot chick. Jeremy completed the remaining in his mind. Sit down, his mom added, and he sat down. This is Mandy. His mom pointed at a girl sitting next to his sister. So? Jeremy asked with a scoff. Young man, am not done yet. You will be getting married to Mandy after you're done with school, his mom said, and it felt like Jeremy had a loud bang in his head that was so painful. What? Jeremy stood up with a frown on his face as he looked at Mandy. Mom, I can't marry this girl. She is too ugly and plain for my liking, Jeremy muttered, glaring at Mandy, while Mandy glared at him too. You're marrying her when you're done with your studies, and that's final, his mom said, and walked away. Jeremy glared at her and turned to leave when he heard something that made him pause. You must marry me. What? Jeremy scoffed. Give me 3 good reasons why I should marry you. Jeremy rolled his eyes. She doesn't have nice shape, just plain, coupled with the fact that she isn't beautiful. You should marry me because I'm pregnant for you, Mandy muttered, and Jeremy glared at her. Are you framing me? Jeremy asked unbelievably, believe it or not, Mandy said and walked away. What the? Jeremy clenched his fist. He can't fucking marry that plain girl. No, he can't.